My next guest is back in action March 11th, UFC Fight Night, taking on Guido Cannetti. It's Mario Bautista, live from the car. Mario, how are you, man?
I'm doing pretty good, always on the go, you know.
Yes, where am I getting you this morning? Going to practice, coming back from practice. Where are you heading to?
Coming back from it. Yeah, the house is the kids awake, so this is the only quiet place for now.
I feel you, man. And I listen, that's a veteran move. I think I've told you this before. We've done a few interviews in the car, good lighting, quiet space. So I appreciate the effort to make this interview, yeah, nice and quiet because I got two kids. I know exactly what you're talking about. So this matchup, I went back and looked. I actually forgot that you two were supposed to fight, I think in August of 2021. Were you happy to see this one get rebooked?
Yes and no. Yes, as in I've already trained for him, so the more I'm doing to prepare for this fight, the better for me. And then at the same time, I kind of thought I would get like someone a little bit higher up in the
A ranked
rankings.
opponent, I thought for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt you there.
Um, no, you're all good, but it is what it is. So just gonna go out there. The positive side of it, I get some experience. He comes out very hard in the first round. Um, so that's something to take away from this fight.
What do you make of guys like, just someone that comes to mind right now? Umar Nurmagomedov is an example. I see him all on social media saying, I can't get an opponent. I can't get an opponent. And then here you are, wanting to fight someone ranked and it doesn't match up. But does the politics of MMA bother you a bit? Or is it just one of those things you can't really control and just sort of, train hard and try and win all your fights?
I mean, you can kind of control it. He's he obviously got that last name, so I think they're trying to push him forward. And for me, I'm I think I just got to rely on my fighting skills and my performances to kind of bring light to myself because I'm not, the biggest trash talker or anything like that. So maybe I'm getting pushed a little bit slower. But like I said, it is what it is. As long as I can fight and win, I can get anywhere.
Yeah. No, I agree there. You sort of talk a little bit about the style matchup there. Cannetti, 16 fight veteran. How do you feel like your skill set squares off with his?
I think I match up well against him, against anyone actually. But I think the biggest thing is going to be that first round because he's going to come out hot. And I think over time, with his age and everything, he's just going to start to get tired. And then if it does go to the second, third round, I see myself winning.
Training camp, who you mainly working with? Same cast of characters. Who you mainly getting to train with this time around?
Yeah, the same group, even the same guys that I trained for this camp,
Mhm.
back in 2021. So like Juwan Lee, he's been there for years. Marcus McGee, um, just a few guys, the younger guys that are at the gym that have been helping me out, and it's always good work with anyone.
Yeah, and this is at the lab, right? You're working with all those guys usually.
Yeah, yeah, at the lab, we got young guys, pros that are about to make it on the big show. We have a bunch of good guys, and we're able to get the work in.
What's going on with Casey Kenny? Is he not fighting? I spoke to him like last year, and it seemed like he was going to come back, and then yeah, I don't know. We haven't heard anything from him, so I hope he's okay because it seemed like he was on the road to recovery. That thumb injury, I
Yeah,
think.
right. Yeah, I think he had like that surgery, some tendon surgery.
Mhm.
Uh, the last I heard, he was training down in Tucson, and yeah, that's the last I've heard of him.
Mhm.
He was recovering from that. I think, yeah, that torn tendon on his pinky. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, hope to see him soon. Hope to hear from him. Casey Kenny, if you're out there,
Yeah,
hit us
come,
up.
come train. Yeah, I know he does cross training. He's not like an official member of the gym or anything. I know he just comes and trains with some of you guys, which is interesting. And the other name I always bring up because I know you guys are buddies. He doesn't have a fight booked yet. I thought he might have got a title fight, but Sean O'Malley, have you spoken to him at all or trained with him at all for this fight?
No, no, he's a pretty busy guy. So, like I'm sure because he has a bunch of things coming up. But yeah, I was pretty surprised that they put Henry in there. It's a good matchup. I think it'd be fun fight if Henry won and against Suge. I think the trash talking between them would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I know with you there. How about the weight cut? Has that process started, or will that start sort of later to fight time as far as the diet and all that?
I'm sticking to the diet, but I'm keeping my weight at where I want to rehydrate at after weigh-ins. So everything's going smooth. I'm still a little over 2.5 weeks out, um, and it's not really a big issue for me. I'm pretty disciplined and don't get too crazy with the food, but I'm on my way to 136.
And your corner, anything different there? Who's going to be in the cage with you?
Oh no, same corner as last time. I've been having the A team with me, John Crouch, David Machad, and Yatsen Mesa. They're like big brothers to me. They keep it real with me. They don't treat me like the UFC fighter, that's about to break in top 15. They'll let me have it, and they'll let me know if I'm slacking anywhere.
Yeah, you got to have people like that. You can't have yes people all the time. You need people who are going to tell it to you straight, but also say it in a way where it's like you're not going to get the message wrong, right? It's hard to find people like that in life in general. You know what I mean? Like to get good feedback without it being like some sort of agenda. It's about them helping you.
Yeah, no, you have to find those people, and luckily for me, I kind of put myself in those, um, you know, aligned with those people, and I like the feedback. I don't like being lied to or whatever
Yeah,
the case may
yeah.
be.
Oh, exactly. You mentioned if there's second or third round finish, submission, knockout. How do you see this one going down?
Uh, if it's not a first round submission, I'm thinking, in either of those later rounds, a TKO or just definitely a finish, I think.
Back to you. Do you think this could be one of the biggest years, if not the biggest year in your career? The timing of everything's interesting. We mentioned it there, not a ranked opponent here, but you get another win. Surely you got to be in the rankings now. And then once you get in there, that's usually when they start, really pushing the fighters. Is that kind of what you're looking at for this year?
Yeah, no, after this fight, trying to get into the definitely top 15 this year and start talking about getting into the top 10 next year. But I think I set myself up pretty good this year, getting a fight early and then seeing how the cards play out afterwards.
Yeah, that's going to be great. And how do you balance everything, man? We talked about this before. I know you're a dad. How's that been over the last couple of years? Just trying to balance being a good father and being a good fighter, because I imagine it's very difficult.
It is, and that's pretty much what I am. I'm just a fighter, and I go to the gym, nothing else. I'm a father, and luckily, with her schooling, it all lines up perfectly. I train from 9 to 11. She goes to school 8:30 to 11:30, and they have like a daycare at our gym, so she's with me all the time. So thankfully that's made it pretty easy. I know other people have different situations, and it it can be pretty tough.
That's good, man. And is it like I guess as well? It probably helps you as a fighter as well, because I'm sure there's those tough days, but you know what you're fighting for, right? You're fighting for your family. You're fighting for. It's not just fighting for you.
Yeah, and I've definitely gotten that a lot more. The older she gets, and the more things that she needs, and definitely it definitely gives me a push, and I want to continue to win for them.
And I don't want to take away any more family time, Mario. Thanks so much for doing
Mhm.
this, man. UFC Fight Night, March 11th. If there's anyone you want to thank before we get out of here, any sponsors, any social media, I'll give you the last word.
I just want to thank my team, friends, family, you for doing this interview, and Iridium Sports for setting this up as well.